Andrew Tursky, Editor-in-Chief of Golf WRX. I'm here at Scottsdale National Golf Club. We got the range behind me. It's beautiful. We got some PXG Gen 2 iron fittings going on, and I'm about to talk to the man, the founder and creator of PXG, Bob Parsons himself. Really looking forward to this one. Let's get into it. So we're here at your Scottsdale National Golf Club. You're showing off the new short game area, the new villas, and you're showing off the new Generation 2 irons. Is this nerve-wracking for you? Is it exciting? Is it like showing off a newborn child, or how's that?
Well, I'll tell you what, being here and being able to show, especially what we accomplished with PXG's new Gen 2 irons, I love it. I mean, there's nothing I'd rather be doing in this life than that. And also our other accomplishments here at Scottsdale National, our villas, our short game area, our new range, a clubhouse we're building, the second clubhouse. You know, we got a lot to show and a lot to be happy and proud about. And whenever I get a chance to do that, and the fact that you guys actually showed up to film it, I'm as happy as I can be.
What initially made you want to start a golf equipment company? What's your relationship like with golf?
Well, I've been a golfer ever since I was in my 30s, and I'm 67 now. And it's just one of those things. I fell in love with the game. My dad was a scratch golfer, but I didn't pick it up until late. When you know, I've had this guy inside of me who's a scratch golfer or a plus handicap trying to get out. He's never quite gotten out, but I have hopes that one day he will. But the one thing that I've always noticed is that if I had the right golf equipment, it makes a difference. And so I got to the point where I studied new golf equipment, bought all the new equipment that came out. I took and learned a little bit about ballistics, metallurgy, aerodynamics, all that stuff. I'd tell you quantum physics, but I know you won't believe me. So all that, and you know, I got to the point where I spent $350,000 on golf equipment the year before I started PXG, and it's true. I got the receipts to prove it, and I got the receipts that's probably more than that because I quit counting at 350 because I was disgusted I spent that much. I talked with Mike Nicolette, who was with Ping at the time. He's our chief engineer now, and he's the guy that, you know, pretty much helped design the 0311 irons, Gen 2 irons. I said, Mike, how come the irons don't get better every year? The clubs don't get a lot better. And he said, Bob, because we work under too many constraints. We got to meet price points. We can only spend so much. We got time constraints. He says, so, you know, we do what we can, but that's why. So I said to him, Mike, I said, how about if I started a company and you could spend as much as you wanted, you could take as much time as you needed, do whatever you wanted to do, and what, you know, would that make a difference? He says, man, I'd love to be able to do that. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, how about if I start a company and we do it? And he said, let me think about it. Got back to me in 2 months. The result, PXG.
Did it make you nervous when it took them about 3 years to make an iron that's better?
Well, nothing makes me nervous, I'll tell you that right now. So, no, it didn't make me nervous that it took 3 years. You know, good things take time. Now, my engineers will come and tell you, well, we told Bob we wanted to start designing a new iron. Didn't happen that way. I told them, you guys better get to work, start designing a new iron. You know, you have to understand that until we release our Gen 2 irons, best iron made is our 0311 series of irons, our Generation 1 irons. There's just nothing that compares to them. And so we had the challenge of making that better and trying to figure out just how in the world we do that. And I can tell you during the first 2 years, we went down a lot of rabbit holes. But eventually, we found this new Core 2 technology. And now we have our Gen 2 irons. And I'm proud to say we have made our original irons better, not in some ways, in every way. They're longer, they launch higher, they have a steeper descent into the green, they feel softer, they sound better, they're more forgiving, the original irons had a sweet spot the size of Texas. Sweet spot with Gen 2, bigger than Texas. And I mean, they go through the turf better. I mean, in every way, these irons are better. You know, when we released our initial irons, my commitment to our customers was I wouldn't release another one until it was significantly and noticeably better. Well, we've done that, our Gen 2 irons.
So when you started this company, did you set out to disrupt the industry? Because, you know, a lot of companies are kind of shifting towards higher end offerings. Is it kind of like a feather in your cap that people are kind of following in your footsteps?
Well, you know, I guess, you know, there's an old saying, imitation's most sincere form of flattery, but that was never our intention. The only thing I intended to do was to make a better golf club.
PXG seems to be growing in size and in tour presence. Is it happening more quickly than you thought, or is it kind of like, and I told you so? I knew this was coming.
Well, you know, I never say I told you so because I don't have a crystal ball and I never know what's going to happen. I got to tell you that I am thrilled that the adoption of PXG has been as quick and as widespread as it has. And, you know, I mean, think about it. We weren't selling our irons for 3 months and I started getting inquiries from overseas, from Asia, Europe, Middle East, and so forth. South Africa. Right now, we sell PXGs in 41 countries. I mean, you know, what's not to be happy about?
What's your favorite country to play golf in?
My favorite country to play golf in, the USA, baby, and always will be.
Love it. Can you explain your relationship with the military real quick and the nomenclature with the golf club?
I was in the Marine Corps when I was a young man. I served in Vietnam, and the Marine Corps taught me everything I needed to know in order to be successful in business. They took me from somebody who was, you know, pretty, I don't know, a guy who was just like a normal kid, to a focused individual when I got out. When I was in school, when I was a young man, I barely passed from one year to the next. I failed the 5th grade. I almost failed out of high school. And I joined the Marine Corps with some buddies and did my service. And when I got out, I went to college and I graduated a completely different guy, magna cum laude, passed the CPA exam the first time, became a successful businessman. I'd have never done that without the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps taught me discipline. They taught me that, you know, if you have a job to do, you do it. Responsibility, you don't have to like being responsible. You just have to do it. Your word means something. They taught me that pretty clean is dirty. They taught me all those things. So everything I ever accomplished, I owe to the Marine Corps. The way we recognize that at PXG is we use the Marine Corps occupational codes. Every job in the Marine Corps has a number, and we use the infantry occupational codes, which is what I did and what the main focus of the Marine Corps is on all our products. Like 0311 is rifleman, that's our irons. 0317 Scout Sniper, that's our hybrids. 0341 mortars, that's our fairways. And 0811 artillery, you can be sure that's the driver. So that's how we name our products. And the Marine Corps, I think about them every day.
God bless them. Let's talk a little bit about what's in your bag. What did you get fit into out of the 4 models right now, and what kind of distance gains have you seen personally?
First of all, nobody fits me. I'm the best fitter at the company. I fit myself, okay? So I play the 0311Ps, the player irons. I hit the sugar daddy wedges. I play a lob wedge through 4-iron. I carry a 17-degree hybrid. I have a prototype 3-wood, and I have a prototype driver, and I hit a Mustang center shafted putter. And as far as distance gains that I've received, I don't know, it's been a blur since I started hitting. It's been a few yards.
What's your relationship like with Golf WRX? Are you ever on that site, trolling around the forums, see what people are saying about your golf clubs, or no?
Yeah, in Golf WRX, sometimes when there's an article, I always read the comments. I tell you, to read those comments, you need a thick skin. But
You don't have to tell me that, I know.
I understand that's social media.
So you decide to make these irons $50 more than Generation 1. Why do you think that's worth it to the consumer?
Well, the same reason that our Gen 1 irons are worth $350. If these irons aren't worth $400, I'll tell you what, I'll eat my hat. When you look at all the work that goes into fitting them, a couple hours of a master fitter's time and the cost it is to deliver a van there to a spot. The shafts that we have, we pick only the best shafts. So most of the shafts we put in with our competitors, it's $100 premium or so forth. If you look at the tungsten weights along the perimeter of our irons, we have more in those weights than our competitors have in their entire iron head. When you factor all that in, and the fact that you're getting the very best iron made, they're worth $400 a stick. They're probably worth $1,000.
Okay. When can we expect new drivers, fairway woods, hybrids? I mean, is that stuff in the works? When's Generation 2?
We work on everything all the time. We're going to be releasing Gen 2 irons next month. I already got our engineers working on Gen 3. They said to me when I told them, I said, guys, you guys, when are we going to do Gen 3 irons? They said, I don't know, it'll be a couple years. I said, well, they're not going to get done by themselves. So they start working on it. They go, you have any ideas? I said, well, first thing, you got to start working on it.
Get back to work, boys.
There you go.
All right, Mr. Parsons, thank you so much.